lot. You know, it'd be a role we'd like to get on. Start kind of passing the baton to the next guy. I thought Kevin's fastball command was about as good as it's been all year. Something that I know Roger, he had really been working on, and I know really challenged him with, you know, whether you throw 87 or 97, just get it in the right place. But he had a good tempo, and you know, he felt good about the command of his pitches tonight. But obviously that's huge for us. You know, you do all this player of the game and all the other stuff, but it starts and ends with the starting pitching. It's the first time really the last, I think, 3 or 4 days where we've got our bullpen in order, where, you know, we've got the way the pieces you hope they fit, and the starters get you through the 5th, 6th, 7th inning. You know, you can make some things work there because you keep people out of harm's way, and are able to put them in the positions they need to be successple.
Looking at the fastball and then using the splitter, I think 5 of his 8 strikeouts came on the splitter. I mean, is that what Kevin Gausman has to do? I mean, is that Kevin Gausman in his best?
Yeah, I mean, the breaking ball thought had a little better shape to it, you know, which, you know, you could put the changeup, call it almost a slurve in the split. I'd be challenged. I don't know. You've probably seen it a lot more than I have, but I don't know. I bet you a couple of those might have been changeups to splits, but I don't know how you differentiate a whole lot. They both have similar look to them from the side, but, you know, it's the whole thing, you know, 1 to compete, 2 to win, 3 to dominate, and he was somewhere in between the two.
Up that 7th inning, just a lot of good quality at bats and a lot of base hits back to back.
And some I don't want to say luck, but some fortunate balls that found the right place, broken bat. They helped us. You know, they got potential with double play ball on the ball to Odor, and then, you know, that really opened it up for us to open the game up. So, you know, they helped us some, but we put a lot of good at-bats together, and some ground balls found some holes, and some balls that they've been catching. You know, Manny, you know, for about a month and a half, I don't know if anybody's, it seemed like every time he squared a ball up, somebody was standing there waiting on it. So, you know, he's had some balls fall in that they've been catching.
Kevin, did it seem like he was maybe adding him some traction from his fastball a little bit more today?
Well, if he was, I'm not going to broadcast that for the next team that he's going to face. But would be a good take out of the game if I was watching it.
Adam Jones isn't known necessarily as a guy who goes to right field. All 3 of his hits were to right tonight. Anything there? I mean,
well, even though Adam, you know, I know Adam coming into yesterday, he wasn't real happy with a lot of his at bats, and he's been doing some things that he's not one of those case of raw guys. Hey, I'll have my number. He's not one of those guys that makes that statement. My numbers will be there at the end of the year. I hate that statement. Well, what about now? What about today? What about this at bat now? You know, for you to, he doesn't play that game where you hear these guys, well, just check it out at the end. Well, the team needs you now, and that's what you know. I've seen him in the cage. I've seen him. He's not happy. So I don't know if he'll tell you he's trying to hit the ball, or whether it's just a product of letting the ball travel a little bit. He was actually on the ball hit off the wall to right field. He was actually looking breaking ball and was able to put a good swing on a fastball.
He had been struggling a little bit over the last week or so, and last 2 days. I know he's the leadoff guy, but more than that, him being in the middle of everything.
He likes that.
Is that a coincidence that the team scores 10 runs when he's kind of in the middle of it? It's
kind of him in his whole persona. Adam doesn't mind being in the middle of things and being counted on to be that guy. So, you know, I don't think it's any coincidence that you know, he likes to play, he likes to compete, and he likes to win. And him doing well certainly makes that a lot easier.
How do you feel about your bullpen coming in and shutting the door at the end?
In what?
Coming in and shutting the door at the end.
You know, those are big innings that Donnie Hart pitches, and that Castro pitched last night. Everybody saw it's 10-1, 10-2. What's the big deal? You know, I had to dry hump Darren, and Brocky got one, so I don't like that at all. I'm not getting him back up again unless I absolutely have to. And I need Castro tomorrow with a left-handed starter to be long with a predominantly right-handed lineup. You'll see tomorrow. I mean, it just kind of fits when Donnie comes in and does that job. And when this guy comes in, you know, 4 of the 5 days we have a right-handed starter, I need Blair available. I need hearten those guys. So when guys come in and do the job they're supposed to do, and it's a shorter part that they have to because of the length of the starters, it all plays into the equation.
Mancini sort of started that 7th inning there. How big has it been to have him, especially as a rookie, be so consistent for you guys this season?
I was thinking about him today. You think he might not be swinging the bat particularly well. He's one of those guys that when you look up there and he's 1 for 4. That's where the batting averages and those things come from. They're not the 4 for 4s, and it's when you're not swinging the bat particularly well and they're pitching you really tough, which they are. He's not sneaking up on anybody right now. That you sneak in that 1 for 4, he shoots a ground ball single to right, and then right now I just hope he can stay where he is during his career with his ego. He doesn't care about shooting a ball off the right field wall. He doesn't care about he'll give in and hit a ball to right field. So we'll see if some of the lures make it tougher to keep doing that. But his ability to do that is what makes him a good player. You look up and you think, well, he must be hitting 290 now, and he's still hitting 300 because he's still, we had Caleb, and I think we had Scope over 300 for a short period of time. That was a good look up on the scoreboard.
Does Mancini in that regard remind you a little of Nick? About the way he goes about taking.
Yeah, Nick never gave away a bat ever. That's a good comparison. Mountcastle reminds me a little bit of Trey a little bit. Similar approaches.
I was about to mention, that you mentioned it that Caleb peaked over 300.
I know. And so did John. Did John get back under?
I think they were both at 299 at the end of the game. I'm not sure, but just, we've talked about this 100 times, but it's the contrast between last year and this year.
I got to tell you, that, without mentioning name, there are a lot of people wanted to throw some sand over him. And those of us that's the difference between analytics, statistics, and what you know in a clubhouse from being around people. I told y'all many times, he's very cordial. He speaks to you, makes fun of it because he knows it's something people else are. But trust me, it burned him inside. He knew he was better than that, and that's where you know things about players during the offseason. Don't make the mistake of saying this is something that's going to happen all the time. It's a snowball place up here. When things get snowballing well, don't get fooled by it. When they get snowballing bad, you need to trust the track record. Same way in spring training. That's why it's big foolers. Spring and fall baseball, September baseball are big foolers. Be careful.